Hi, I'm Tim, and this is Selfless Awakening, where I like to ground all of this mindfulness stuff, this metaphysical stuff. And today is day 27 of my 30 Days of Awakening series, where I wake up, I meditate, I open my mind to intuitive guidance, and I'm like, hey, what can I talk about online to be of service to others? And then ideas come to me. Hello, welcome everyone who joined in. And so yeah, today is day 27. I have a couple days in there where I wasn't online. I'm with my family, and I'm visiting my family. Hello, I'm visiting my family in Western New York right now, and it's very interesting. I brought my camera with me because I was going to keep going through each of the 30 days videos, but I ended up leaving this camera at their house when we went to the lake house. So I wasn't supposed to do any videos, so I just kind of went with the flow. That was the universe talking to me. And so now I had a minute here before I'm off to another adventure at my sister's house, and I wanted to take a minute to talk about something, hey, blessings to you, cheers. Thank you. For day 27, the topic that came to mind that I think is a really great topic to look at for my 30 Days of Awakening series is this topic. If you were different, I would be happy. How many times in our lives does something like this creep into our minds? It's so built into our culture, that we may even have times where we are experiencing this idea of, if this person were just different, just a little different or a lot different, then I could be happy. If they were taller, if they were shorter, if they had more muscles, if they had more money, if they had less money, whatever it is. It's so easy for us to look at either the people that we're looking to find as partners, or if we look at our family members. It's very easy to do this with our family members, to say, if you were different, I'd be happy. I'm here with my family right now, so family is a great time. When you go home to your family, that's a great time to practice some of these inventory processes where you look at patterned thinking and you release yourself from it, because a lot of the patterns that we carry in our lives come from our childhood and come from, many of them, interactions with our family. So it can become a time when you go home or visit your family where things can surface or things can get triggered, and it's a great time to really study yourself and learn. And I noticed that for my family, partially because we all have so much history with our family, it's very easy to have a lot of this, if you were different, I'd be happy mentality when it comes to our family, because we have so many stories. It's like, if my brother would just be a little more open about this or that, or if my sister would be more this way, or if mom would just really, it's so easy for us to what's called, many people use the language in the mindfulness community, spiritual community, they say scripting someone else, where you literally write a script for them as an expectation of how they should be. Like, for instance, I'll make a perfect example. Like, let's say with my brother, let's say that I have a script for my brother. This isn't one that I have, but I'm just trying to make one up here. Let's say that every time we get together, I expect that my brother is going to play wiffle ball with me and the kids when we get back. And I have this expectation. If he doesn't play wiffle ball with me when we go to family reunions, I will be unhappy. That's me basing some form of my happiness or joy in life on someone else as an expectation. Like, I can only be happy if he follows the script that I'm writing for him. You guys, does that make sense? And it's so easy for us to get caught in these constant scripts for everyone, for our romantic partners, for our friends, we get scripts like, oh, a friend shouldn't be this way, a friend should be this way, this, and the thing that is important to look at with this is that we all do this. It's very natural to have expectations of people in your lives because that's just the way that we're built. And what I found is that whenever I have any resistance to a family member or someone that's close in my life, and I don't feel that they're living up to a script that I've written for them, or they're just not doing what I think they should do, that's a time where I do this practice where I flip it and I look at whatever it is that's bugging me about them. I do an inventory work to see if there's something, if that same thing that's bugging me about them, if there's some aspect of it in me, in Tim's personality, that I can then learn from. So I kind of flip it. It's like if I think that I don't know, we'll say, if I think that my sister is complaining, she's not complaining, she's, we've had a great time on this trip, but let's just say for the sake of it, if I think my sister is, if I'm annoyed with my sister and I've written this script for her that says, my sister's always complaining all the time, then what I do now, like my practice is, I'll look at, oh, interesting, I caught the voice in Tim's head bitching about his sister. And I detach. Just in doing that, you detach from it some. And then I'll look at it and I'll say, have I been bitching in my life anywhere? Or have I been complaining anywhere in my life? And I start going through my life. And usually, if someone else is bothering me, if I think someone else is complaining, if someone is complaining a lot, usually that means I'm doing the same thing somewhere in my life that I'm unconscious of. And that's how it works. It's kind of crazy. It's like, this is my experience, or my theory is like this. If you're annoyed with someone else for anything, my theory is that thing that you're annoyed with them about is something that you're just not looking at in yourself, and the universe, life, your subconscious mind, whatever you want to call it, is trying to show you something to look at out there in someone else because you're not willing to look at it inside of yourself. So it's like the universe goes, man, Tim is not seeing how much he's complaining. Tim's not noticing how much this complaining energy is keeping him from being happy and free and going next level. Tim is complaining. The universe will go, okay, he's not looking at it. Let's have him notice how much everyone else in the world complains, and then maybe he'll wake up to not complaining himself. Literally, that's how it feels like the universe works. It's this idea that what you witness in others, you need to release from yourself, okay? Because anytime that we have a disturbance with someone else, that's our experience that we've manifested. The disturbing energy is the energy we've manifested. Hey Ron, how are you? So, hey, I'm just doing a little live video before I take off to my sister's party. But good to see you, my friend. So the idea is that we look, anytime you have an emotional disturbance come up and you're frustrated or annoyed or disappointed with someone else, you are scripting them. You've got expectations for them to be some way different than they are. And that's not their problem, that's your problem. And so what you do is what I do to soften my hold on the judgment or script that I have for them. I look, like I said, I look at myself to see where I might be doing the same thing that's annoying me in them, okay? And that's one way that I like to focus on softening my scripts or expectations or judgments of others. Because again, this is about us having an experience, us having a joyful experience. And when you're sitting in judgment of others all the time, it's not them that you're hurting, it's you. You have to carry that negative vibration. If you're going around bitching about Trump to everybody you see, you are the one who's living with that negativity. Okay? You're not helping anything from that vibration. Like complaining that low vibration energy doesn't help anyone, right? So it's so easy to miss looking at ourselves, you know? And so let me think. Next thing I want to say, other ways to release yourself from scripts, from scripting people, from having expectations of others, so that you can have freer relationships with people. Another way to do that is to visualize, like imagine that you are them, and walk through their life a little bit, visualizing how this person has gotten to be the way they are. You know, for instance, like if you're feeling frustrated with, let's say, your dad, right? And your dad never does, you know, he just, if it turns out you want to go out to eat, it's like, and he just won't go out to eat. And there's just this, right? One of the ways that you can stop yourself from having that emotional reaction or soften it a bit is to put yourself in his shoes and imagine, I see how, you know, he had a tough life. He got up to this place. He had this happen. He had this happen. And he really only feels good at home. And he's not quite present and awake enough to know that he's holding on to this pattern of being stuck at home. And I release you, Dad, from not leaving the house. You know, it's like, I understand that this is what got you to be the way you are. And you literally visualize their life from their position, and which then gives that, then you go, oh, it makes sense. I see how they got to the place to be where they are. You know, they're doing the best they can. And that's where it leads to the next thing, is I always think whenever I have expectations or judgments to someone, you know, there are lots of little things you can do. Like I said, number one, you look at whatever you're judging in them to see if you're maybe missing it in yourself. And number two, you try to visualize their life to see how they got to the place where they are. And you really just live in that visualization. And number three, you tell yourself that they're doing the best they can. And then from there, you're able to make peace with them. You're able to release yourself from the judgments that they have, so, or that you have for them. So this is just kind of a technique that you can use to soften it, because if you have a disturbance, if you have a frustration, or if you feel that everyone else is the problem, then you have some stuff to look at. And one last thing I'll say about it, don't use that awareness when you start really noticing that maybe you are some of the things that you're noticing you don't like in others, that you're realizing that you have some of those things in yourself. It can become very easy at that moment to use those things to beat yourself up, to flog yourself with. And you don't want to do that either. You have to be okay with, hey, I'm going to be peeling back an onion, and each layer that I peel back, I'm going to see new things. And every time I see a new thing, especially if it's something I haven't seen, especially if it's something that's not so pretty to look at, it's going to kind of be uncomfortable, and you can't beat yourself up. It's much better to see the truth about yourself and be willing to look at the truth and be willing to love yourself no matter what the truth is. We're all doing the best we can. All of the people that you may have judgments about, they're doing the best they can, and you are doing the best you can. So you have to forgive yourself and be okay that you are going to have patterns sometimes, and you're going to uncover thinking and uncover judgments of others that you didn't even know were there. And in the doing of that, don't beat yourself up. Be okay with it. You know? So that's my message for the day. Okay? So I'm going to go have a little adventure here. I got to go with my family. So I will talk to you all soon. This is day 27. I should be able to do day 28. I'll be on the road back to New York tomorrow, back into the tri-state area. But I'll try to do a video before I go. So sending you all so much love and good vibes. And thanks for the good wishes there, WizKid. Cheers. All right, I'll talk to you all soon. All right. Have a great day. And if you want to watch this full video, I'm putting it up on YouTube. The link is in my bio if you're connecting on Instagram over here. And if you're connecting up on YouTube, subscribe, click the little notification to stay up to date if you like these videos, okay? Have a great day.